Hi, so a quick update for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So, yeah, Sunday today, back to basics. Really just wanted to reinforce that the UK is going through tough times. I think many of us are struggling financially, some worse than others, of course. But I think everybody's feeling the pinch. Really wanted to share my, I guess, my learned tips that are helping me to navigate these waters. So the first one is to meal prep and perhaps buy cheaper versions of the same foods. So you've got value ranges, you've got the kind of white label ranges and such for certain items in the supermarkets. So things like baked beans, why pay £1 plus for a tin of Heinz when you can get a tin of own brand for 30p? And you put a little bit of salt with them, maybe a little bit of black pepper, that they don't actually taste that bad. The same with cornflakes, the same with things like coffee, for example. And all of these little savings add up. So I see these as incremental wins. They not only enable me to effectively spend less money and often get more in terms of food weight for that money, but it enables me to be a little bit creative with the cooking process, because some of them you do have to kind of adapt to bring the flavour out of the food. Certainly things like value ranges in vegetables, for example, and I'm an advocate of health. I think we should all be eating much more fresh fruit and veg. But why pay £1 or £2 for a bag of carrots when you can pay 40p? And again, just using a bit of common sense like that, if you go onto a few of the forums, Mumsnet's quite a good one. But yeah, you go onto a few of the forums, maybe watch a few YouTube videos, and you can get some really good tips as to how to extract the best flavour from what is essentially budget food. So that's my first tip. The second tip is one that I've only recently started doing, and that's obviously tracking your expenses. So I am doing that for the whole of this month. I'm tracking exactly what my earnings are versus what my spendings are. So there are numerous apps that you can get on Android, on iPhone. I won't recommend any because you might find them not very good, and then that's my fault. But if you go onto the App Store, type in budget or money budget, something like that, you can read the reviews and decide for yourself which one that you want to use. But they do help. You can just use an Excel spreadsheet, and that's obviously a good way. If you're that way inclined, you can create a formula, and that might work very well for you. But that enables you to basically see, where there are corners that can be cut. It might be, for example, that you've got a Netflix subscription, which is perhaps for a family of four. And it might be that your kids have moved out and you're still paying for it. So you're paying perhaps, £5, £6, £7 a month more than you need to. And you could effectively reduce that subscription, still have your Netflix or Prime or whatever it might be, and effectively save money. It might also be that perhaps you're on a mobile phone contract. You might be paying £40 a month for a brand new phone. And I think the phone providers do this thing where if you don't say that you want to cancel once you've paid for your phone, many of them will just keep charging you full whack. So you can kind of reduce that to SIM only, which will be about £8 a month. So there are little things like that as well that you can do that can make a massive difference. Internet is another one. Internet fibre speeds are getting ever faster. Do we really need them this fast? Probably not. I think you need 4 meg download to be able to video game online. And I think mine's something like 300, 400, which seems like it's overkill. So those are areas also that you can look to contact the provider, see if you can get still a good service, but maybe for a better deal. So that's something that's worth looking into as well. And the other things will be memberships, things like gym memberships and so on. These may be able to be cancelled or reduced. Perhaps you're paying for a 24-hour membership and you're paying £40 a month, but you never really use it outside of 9 to 5. you could probably reduce that to a lower cost membership and still get the same value out of having a place that you can go and train. So those are my quick budgeting tips. What are yours? I'm sure, as I always say, there are many clever people in the comments, far more astute than myself, that have been doing this far longer. Really interested to hear what your take on all of this is. Really interested to hear how you save your money, and how you budget and make the most of what we've got in this current economy. As I've said, as I'll keep saying, the cost of living crisis is real. It impacts hundreds of thousands of people in the UK at different levels, and I think everybody's feeling the pinch. It's not all doom and gloom, obviously. The positive spin on this is that by taking actionable steps, you can reduce your outgoings even by small amounts. These are all wins and should be taken as such. Any income that you can save will put you in a better position to weather weather the storm, if you like, that's coming, and protect yourself financially. So yeah, there you go. That's my Sunday 2 pence. Goldman, peace out.